I'm not good enough. This will never work. It's not perfect yet. Sound familiar? If you're a perfectionist, it might. Perfectionism and procrastination are major obstacles to success for many people, but they don't have to be. Perfectionism is the voice in the head that won't allow you to sleep at night because you feel like your work isn't good enough, or what if it doesn't sell? It's the voice that keeps telling you, I should have done better. It's believing that there is one right way to do something. Perfectionism will hold us back from living, thriving, and achieving our dreams. When we are stuck in perfectionism, we aren't able to move forward with the good things happening in our lives. We're afraid to grow or challenge ourselves with new things out of fear of failing, or being rejected, which often leads us straight into depression. Here are 6 simple strategies that can help anyone overcome perfectionism. Number 1. Don't worry about the outcome. The only thing that matters is how you execute your plan, not what the result will be. It's a lot easier to tackle something when we're just doing it for ourselves rather than trying to please someone else or live up to their expectations of us. Once again, there are no right answers, just different paths with various outcomes. So stop worrying so much. Just do it for yourself and see where things take you from there. You don't have to be perfect all the time. Accepting imperfection means we can move on without fear of making mistakes and living in regret because everything wasn't perfect. We get as many shots at it. We can try and try again, just like our favorite sports heroes. How do you get started? What's the first step to making a change for yourself? It starts with taking that first plunge, and it doesn't matter how deep or shallow your dive is. That initial moment when we take action will start creating momentum in other areas of life. And before you know it, everything else falls into place. Number 2. Set realistic goals. If you're a perfectionist, your goal may be to try and achieve limitless goals with limited time or resources. This is unrealistic. Start by recognizing that it's okay not to be perfect. In fact, being able to accept yourself as someone who makes mistakes is actually the key to progress in any field. Then set goals that feel more realistic for you and less stressful, but still give you room for improvement. Number 3. Reframe your thinking about mistakes. Do you believe mistakes are valuable? They can be. Some of the world's best inventions wouldn't have come about without missteps along the way. In fact, some psychologists say that our brains learn so much from making mistakes that it's more useful to make them than not. This is because we often need to explore before we find what works well for us. The same thing applies with business. Even if a company has been around for years or decades, there may still be areas where small changes could produce big results. And sometimes these changes only work when you allow yourself to fail first, no matter how hard this might seem at times. This is a good thing. It's the way we grow and learn, which in turn makes us better at our jobs and doing what we love to do. So put some of your time into thinking about mistakes you might make tomorrow, or next week, or 5 years from now. Then go ahead with those things anyway, because they will help you move forward. Imagine if someone told Thomas Edison that he could never try new ideas until he was perfect. He would have been waiting for his whole life before ever inventing anything. Number 4. Focus on the process, not the product. You've heard the old adage that you can't judge a book by its cover. But what about judging yourself? We often don't give ourselves credit for our successes, and are quick to point out when we fail or make mistakes. This is called perfectionism, and it causes us some serious damage. Not only does it lead to unhappiness with how things turn out, but also leads to burnout because of overworking oneself in an attempt at achieving such high standards. Accepting mediocrity may sound like defeat, but sometimes just getting through a task makes one feel accomplished enough without having reached their desired end state. Though they still have time left in which they could try again, if so desired. Number 5. Practice making quick decisions. The fastest way to destroy perfectionism is by practicing making quick decisions. There is no need for overanalyzing everything, you just have to go with your gut and make a decision. Sure, there may be some choices that don't work out so well, but they are the best kind of mistakes because lessons learned lead to growth and character. Number 6. Learn to take feedback without reacting. Perfectionism leads us to believe that if we are not perfect, then we aren't good enough. This mindset prevents progress and success because it's preventing feedback loops of improvement. In order to learn from our mistakes and grow in any field, one must be open-minded about admitting they need help or criticism. It's the willingness to accept imperfections that helps you make corrections for future endeavors.